Okay, everybody, we're going to look at cash discounts and terms of sale. And this is all related to things you may see on an invoice in business. And don't let it intimidate you. There's lots of information in the module. I have linked several YouTube videos to kind of help you with each different concept. We're going to work through everything together, and just as always, reach out if you get confused. Mostly this is just about understanding what these different things mean, because they don't make sense at all if you don't know what they mean. But once you know what they mean, they're pretty universal. Okay, everyone's going to use the same system on their invoices. So the first thing we're going to look at, it says an invoice for $2,500 is dated June 12th with terms 3/15 and N45. And if you read through your module, you know that this means you get a 3% discount if you pay within 15 days. And the N is always going to stand for net, and that means the net is due in 45 days. If you go past this 15 days without paying, then you owe the entire net, which is this $2,500. Okay, so the first thing it asks us is, what is the discount date? And finding the dates is not particularly complicated. You might need to keep you a calendar so you can remember which months have 30 days, which have 31, and don't forget February throws everything off. You know what I mean? Because it has 28 or 29 depending on whether it's a leap year. But we start with, what is the discount date? Okay, the invoice is dated June 12th. And you have 15 days. So all you do is add the 15 to the 12, and you need to pay by June 27 in order to get the discount. Okay, what is the net date? We have 45 days from June 12th to pay. So when does it have to be paid by? June is a 30-day month. So if you're on the 12th and you have 30 days in the month, that means you have 18 days left in June. So 18 from 45 means you need to get how far into July? 27 days. Which makes sense because this is 30 days greater than this. So basically your net date is 1 month past your discount date in this particular scenario. Okay, if you paid within the discount period, within the 15 days, what is the discount amount and the net amount due? Okay, you find the discount amount just like you do with any of the trade discounts we looked at. You start with $2,500 and you're going to multiply that by 0.03 because that is the amount of your discount. Or that is the percentage rate of your discount, 2,500 times 0.03 equals, you're getting $75 off basically if you pay within the first 15 days. And so then what is your net amount due? How much do you have to pay total if you pay in the first 15 days? So you just subtract your discount from your total, and you're going to see that you owe $2,425. Okay, now we move on to number 2, and this gets slightly more complicated, but still easy to do. You just read the information in your module. Sometimes a business might want to take advantage of this discount. They can get a 2% discount if they pay within 10 days, but they may not quite have enough money to make the whole payment. So how do you figure how much of the discount to give them if they make a partial payment within the discount period? Okay, it says the amount deducted from the invoice before calculating the discount when a partial payment is made within the discount period is going to be your partial payment credit. We have to find that. It says occasionally a buyer will not have enough funds on hand to take advantage of the cash discount, and the supplier will usually allow them to make a partial payment. Okay, so if you think about a 5% cash discount, or in this case a 2% cash discount, that means with a 2%, for every 98 cents you spend, you're getting $1 of credit. So with a partial payment, we need to know how many 98 cents they're going to pay. so we know how many dollar credits to give them for what they paid. Because if they make a partial payment of $900 within the discount period, they're going to get more than $900 off this bill. Okay, so to do this, you just need to know this formula to find the partial payment credit. The partial payment credit is equal to the partial payment, which in this case is $900, divided by the complement, like we talked about in the other lesson, of the discount rate. So you have 100 minus 2. So you have 98. And remember, to bring it into a problem equation, you need to make it 0.98. So if you divide 900, which is the amount of your payment, by 0.98, which is the complement of your discount rate, you get 918.367, which almost everyone will round up for you. So you're going to have $918.37 is the credit you get towards your bill for paying $900. Okay? That's how you figure that. There's more information about that in your module. I know that is a little bit confusing. So to determine the remaining balance, you just start with your beginning amount and subtract your partial payment credit. And you find that you get 1840 minus 918. Well, I can't type. 0.37, and you have $921.63 left to pay, which will be due before the 30 days is up. Okay? All right, let's move on. Number 3. Okay, this offers a different levels of discount. Okay, you have an invoice for $3,200. It's dated January 20th with terms 4% off if you pay within 10 days, 2% off if you pay within 25 days, and net in 60. Now, do not get confused. These do not add together. This is not a series discount like we've talked about before. You get 4% off only within the first 10 days. If you get to that 11th day, you're only going to get the 2% off. Okay? So what is the discount amount if paid within 10 days? So it would be 4% off. So we'd have $3,200 times 0.04. Just like all of the other trade discounts that we have done. So we have 3,200 times 0.04. And we see that the discount amount in 10 days would be $128. Okay? What is the discount amount if paid within 25 days? So we're over here. So there we have times 0.02, right? Because we're still getting a discount, but we're getting a little bit less of one because we didn't pay as quickly, and it's half. As you can see, it's $64. Okay, what does the full amount do if paid after 25 days but before the net date? Okay, this is where don't confuse yourself. Once you hit that 26th day, you owe the whole amount, okay? Whether you pay on day 26, day 35, or day 60, once you go past the discount date, you owe the full amount. It doesn't compound or change, or you don't get a certain percentage of it. So just remember that you owe then the full amount. Okay, we have one more to look at together. And this is kind of dealing with the different ways that businesses mark terms of sales with their dating methods. Okay, a shipment arrives on May 4th with an invoice dated May 1st. Terms are 210 ROG, N30 ROG. Okay, the first thing you need to know is, what does ROG mean? And it talks about in your module. That is receipt of goods. That's what ROG stands for. And in ROG dating, it means that the date we start counting from is the date that they were received, not the invoice date. Lots of businesses will count days from the invoice date, but in ROG, they're counting from the date you received the goods. So this arrived on May 4th. So that's the dating method that's being used. So what is the discount date? So you get 2% discount if within 10 days. So 10 days from May 4th is going to be May 14th. And then the net date, you have 30 days. May is a 31-day month. So you have 31 days in May, and you're 4 days in. So let me make sure I'm telling you correctly. That means 27 of the 30 days are taken up within May, so you're going to get 3 days into June before it's due. So your net date is going to be June 30th, okay? If the invoice amount is $950, what is the net amount due if paid during the discount period? Okay, you have $950. You have a 2% discount. Then now we're working this problem just like all the others. The main point of this one is to make you understand the way a receipt of goods invoice is different, because most due dates are counted from the date of the invoice, but if it's ROG, it's from the receipt of the goods. Okay, this is $19 discount, and so you subtract 19 from 950. Whoops. And you get $931. Okay, guys, I know that was a lot of information on one worksheet, but refer back to your module and reach out to me if you have any problems.